Alright, quick video. I promised y'all a video of my early picks. I haven't done this before. So, now the thing is, disclaimer, with them being early picks, I reserve the right to change my picks up until Saturday morning when I release the graphic on Instagram. Really up until the fight starts. Because to be honest, I've changed it on there one time before the fight starts. But anyway, I'll be honest, the two last fights that they added, the Cody Durden, Carlos Mota. Excuse me, it's late. I should be in bed, but I promise this video. So, Christian Rodriguez versus Joshua Weems. I have picks for you, but I did a little bit of research. Anyway, so I'm going to rip these off pretty quick. There's not a lot to it, but
Breakfast
these are
croissant,
most likely.
seasoned potatoes for $3.
Reggie
And you're
Bush,
registering you?
Wendy's commercial.
It's just a standard.
Again, ESPN always coming through.
Hey, gotta stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg.
All right, so we'll start at the bottom.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast meal.
Christian Rodriguez, Joshua Weems. I am going with Christian Rodriguez. Not a lot there, more experience.
What was it like, though, to
I haven't watched film on Weems yet. Dove into a little bit. Cody Durden versus Carlos Mota. I'm going with Durden. Durden, more experience, a little scrappier. From what I've seen, Mota just seems to be a boxer. The most I've really watched of Mota was when I watched video on what's his face, Charles Johnson, before Charles Johnson got mauled by Muhammad Makayev back on the London card this year. So I knew him from that, but he's a boxer. I'm going with Cody Durden. Hopefully Durden will throw in some kicks and some ground game in there. Hopefully he doesn't get gassed like he has in some fights before, just going too hard in the first round. But, yep, going with Durden. Chase Hooper versus Steve Garcia. Hooper, I am really hoping comes through. Kid has a lot of potential. Seems like he's getting better in each fight. And I really hope he has done so here. I heard he's changed. He's out in South Carolina having camp with Wonder Boy. So a lot of times when I see people with karate, I really expect him to have that Wonder Boy sideward stance. So when they don't, I don't really trust that their karate's that good. But the kid looked like his last couple fights, he's had a lot of power, but he's starting to use his height. When you know how to use your height. Hey mama. Richie, hold on, baby. Shh. It's my dog with a toy. You know how to use your height and your distance and your length. You can do great things. He seems like he's figuring that out a lot, especially when it comes to how much torque and leverage a tall person can put into just a straight punch. So I've seen him deliver some pretty heavy blows. Obviously his ground game is ridiculous. He's one of those people who just would stay there the whole fight if he could, kind of like British dude, what's his name? Anyway, really good ground game. Hoping he can either get a submission or just... the one thing I would say is impressive about him too is that he can take some punishment. I've seen him dish it out while getting beat up and he eats it. So pretty tough chin, pretty tough kid. I am rocking with him. I think he brings more to the table, more ways to win. Jin Young Park versus Joseph Holmes. Holmes obviously has the height and reach against him. Park is a scrapper. He gets out and he bangs. He throws his hands, heavy hands. Should be a pretty good fight. Could Holmes win? Sure. But I think Park is way more experienced. He's probably just pushing outside the top 15. He's on a bit of a win streak, I believe. And he's fought some taller people. Not anybody as tall as 6'4", but he's fought taller people. So he lost to Rodriguez, but I mean he beat Anders, who's a lot bigger than him in that fight. He lost Rodriguez. I mean he's had some good fights. So ultimately, I think that he's more experienced, tougher. He's going to win the fight. Andrei Arlovsky and De Lima. This is my first, I think, right? Yeah, my first pick of a dog. No. Is Durden's a dog, I believe. Now he is. I don't think he opened that way. But either way, before that, Andrei Arlovsky was the first pick I looked at. Like, he's underdog. I think he's won his last 4 fights. This is the ageless wonder that just keeps on winning. I don't know what his contract looks like, but he's probably the oldest in the UFC now that they got rid of Alexei Oleinik. Delima, if you watch them versus Ben Rothwell, he came out swinging like crazy. If he comes out doing that, he can knock anybody out. But I think Arlovsky's a little smarter, more rounded than to just stand there and take that punishment. He does have a chin. He has been rocked a couple times where he'll actually grab guard. Hold on, dog. Literally. Wait till I'm done. Hey. Hold on, dude. Get a different toy. It doesn't make noise. So Delima could either get the knockout or he's going to gas, and Arlovsky's going to just piece him apart, and this will be a real rugged heavyweight match where they're just kind of leaning on each other, exhausted, and throwing bangers, and people are going to be bleeding. Drag out the whole way. Arlovsky has more ways to win. I mean, he could get TKO if Delima gets that tired, or he could get a submission. Delima's either going to get a knockout or I don't think he's going to win. But I'm rocking with under Arlovsky. Phil Hawes. Roman, I think, could be a really good fight. This could be fight of the night. Roman's big. He's strong. Has a lot of power to him. I just don't think he throws enough. I think Phil Hawes is going to be better on the ground and a little bit standing. The one thing that bothers me about Hawes is that he might take some shots. He's not as mindful in taking some of the shots. And if he takes an open shot with his chin up, Roman can put him to sleep. So really hope that doesn't happen. I'm rocking with Hawes. Overall, just think he's more rounded, more experienced, and he's kind of on his way up. Now you knock a Roman, I think he is too. I just think Hall's edges him out in this. Dustin Jacoby and Khalil Roundtree Jr. Another fight night candidate. These dudes get after it. Khalil Roundtree can knock the lights off the sun. Dustin Jacoby, I bet on against him in one of his last fights. Stupid. And I think he's won like 8 fights in a row. This UFC stint, he's just looking great. I think he's more rounded. I think Khalil Roundtree is going to bring just really that power shot. He's looking to end the fight. I think Jacoby could also get the finish, but he could also stretch it out and outpoint him. I just think he's more rounded. He's going to get it done. Josh Fremd, Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore, I believe, probably lost me money on one of his last fights. Obviously, since the Ultimate Fighter, he just isn't really reaching that potential. Josh Fremd, I think, has 1 fight in the UFC, ex-football player, pretty big guy. Although he lost the last fight, he made a good account of himself against Fluffy Hernandez. Hernandez is, as people are starting to realize, is no chump. And to even hang in that fight with him, I know it says unanimous, but I mean, he took a lot of punishment, but he gave some too. And I expect him to be a lot better than he was in that fight. And Tresean Gore is nowhere close to Fluffy Hernandez talent-wise. Tresean Gore is going to headhunt, try to get the heavy shot. I expect for him to maybe put his weight on him, take him to the ground. If they trade punches, it'd be smarter, and Tresean can't really reach him with some of those jabs. Knows maybe Tresean's fight IQ is a little bit better. He comes out, balls the wall, and throws more. And moves his head around a little more, but I think he lacks a fighter's IQ for mixed martial arts. He's one of those fighters where it's aggravating that they think they're winning the fight or they're doing enough and they're really not. But going with Frem, he's the favorite. And then we got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Jared Vanderaa. I'm taking Acosta. Jared Vandeera's losing streak, I think, speaks for itself. A lot of people think he might come out and just go crazy and throw bombs because he has nothing to lose, and they feel like he's going to get cut. I think unless he has like the world's greatest victory, he's going to get cut anyway. But not a lot of footage on Acosta, just more impressive. Big guy. I think he's going to be a little more athletic. And I think this could end in a knockout either way, but I'm thinking Acosta gets it. To me, it's just a clear pick just because Vanderaa is that way. Tim Means versus Max Griffin. Spent a lot of time back and forth on this one. Initially, before even seeing the odds, I just thought Tim Means Max Griffin could get a finish in a fight like this, but I think Tim Means is just scrappier and more rounded. As long as he doesn't leave that chin out there, if he does, Max Griffin's going to turn his lights out like a power company for somebody who didn't pay their bill. Lost to Neil Magny, and that was actually a pretty good fight. And then he had a little win streak in between there. But I think Tim Means just won it a little more and is a little more scrappier and rounded. And I've got him winning. Arnold Allen, Calvin Kattar. I've got Calvin Kattar heavy. I have him in a future bet that included a fight from last week. Could have I had the main event. Excuse me. I had the main event from last week on there, and then I have some fights this card, and then some more future bets into November. But Calvin Kattar, if they were the same height and same size, really, then maybe I would pick Allen. Kattar does have some bad luck. I think he got hoed in the Josh Emmett fight, and I bet on Josh Emmett, so I ended up winning. But ultimately, before they said Josh Emmett's name, I obviously thought Kattar won, like most people did. But he's bigger than Allen, and I think Train is going to make a pit stop for Allen here. That Kattar's balls to the wall nonstop. He doesn't do a lot of different things. Doesn't throw kicks, but like won a fight. But it's just going to be constant punches nonstop. And I don't know if Allen's ready for this, so this is a big test for him. I just think Kattar is still too good for this kid. And yeah, I mean, Allen's more rounded, but I don't think he's as big, and I don't know if he's ready for that pace. So we'll see, but I'm going with Kattar. Again, let's go over it. I'm going, what dogs do I have? How many dogs do I have? Cody Durden, as of right now. Cody Durden's a dog. Arlovsky. Tim Means. And Cater's now the dog. He wasn't originally. When I bet on him in the future pick with Islam Makhachev, he was not the dog. So cool, 4 dogs right now. Whatever. Throw $10 on the original 9 here. I see the original because they threw on the Durden Rodriguez. $10 on that wins you like $2,500 or something like that. And it's climbing now. These odds are changing. So again, I'll put up my main card or my main picks, official picks Saturday on Instagram. But right now, if you're wondering, this is the way I'm leaning on these fights. And if anything changes, it might be 1 or 2 fights, and really it would probably be the 2 they just added. But I doubt it. I'm 85%. This is my picks. I'm locking in for the weekend. If you have any questions, leave a comment, hit me up in the inbox, or hit me up on Instagram. Appreciate you watching. Sorry I put the video up so late, but I said I would put it up, so it is going up tonight. Laters.